welcome back to Hot Rods and History. My name again is Anthony Simpkins. We've got a little surprise for you today. Kind of unexpected, actually. A friend of mine, Woody, had called me up and said that he bought a moonshine car with all the history from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we're going to go ahead and walk in here and we're going to show it to you. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Might even get him to fire it up for us. All right, let's go. Hey, Woody.
How's it going?
What's going on today?
Oh, I was just checking oil on my old 1947 Moonshine Runner.
Yeah, that's what I heard. We thought we'd come in today and check it out.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
nice car. Check it out.
I heard it's got a cool little story that you're going to tell us about.
Yeah, it does. I can never find the hole where this stuff goes at.
That's always a tough one, ain't it?
Yeah, I can pull it up, but I never get it back in. Yeah.
It's probably lack of light ain't helping, eh?
Yeah. I know it went in there. You know, we'll just lay that right there.
Oh, there we go.
For right now. But yeah, she's a 1947. And
47?
yeah, Ford. And it was originally done up to run moonshine. And the original owner was Ralph. And he purchased this thing in Detroit.
In Detroit.
It was sent down to Chattanooga, Tennessee. It cost him $800.
For a brand new car, $800.
Brand new car for this car. He paid $800
Amazing.
for this. And just almost the way you see it. There was some changes done on it.
Okay.
And he ran moonshine all the way up to 57.
1957.
Well, he felt that he needed a stronger engine.
Okay.
So what he did, he looked around and see what the strongest engine was out there. And back in 1957, it was a Pontiac engine.
Pontiac. That's, so this is what we're seeing right now.
347 Pontiac
347
engine.
Pontiac with a Cadillac, what
With
you
the-
call the Batman air cleaner,
We
right?
call it the Batman breather. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, them were real popular.
Yeah. So that's a 347 went down in it. Back in them days, it was 300 horsepower.
300 horse.
That fed this motor right here. And then he ended up doing different expansions on it. Put the Lincoln expansion on the back.
Yep.
Lincoln steering wheel on it.
Well, I heard he put a conversion or an adapter, in other words,
Yeah, he
on
put
the
an
back of
adapter
the
on the
motor.
trans- yeah,
and you're
yeah.
still running a Ford tranny.
Yep.
But he put the Zephyr gears in it because the gears are a little stronger, right?
Yep.
Very cool. And
And
now, is it a 3-speed or?
It's a 3-speed
It
on
is
the
a
column.
3-speed
Yeah.
on the
yeah.
column, which had been changed.
That,
And what you saying? That was a Lincoln?
yeah, that was a
Column.
Lincoln column, steering column right there, which was all changed out right there. Even the Lincoln brakes on it and the Lincoln air right in the back and all that stuff like that.
So even the front brakes are Lincoln.
I don't know about the front brakes. I know the back brakes.
Back
I think
brakes were
more
Lincoln?
likely
Okay,
the front
all
brakes
right.
are probably done too,
Okay.
right there. But the front brakes, I really don't know.
Because they always had the heavier stuff.
Right. That's for for hauling the liquor back in the day. And,
Gotcha.
Taking the curves and.
Well, they said one of the real tricks on one of these cars when you set them up to run liquor was the fact that you had to set the car up so that it wasn't jacked up to let the cops know that it was set up to haul weight. But when it was weighted, the car had to look same.
Exactly.
Almost.
Yep.
So-
That's how they went by.
Yeah,
They
so-
seen it. They seen the back end of it right there,
Right,
lower,
right.
and they know that he's got moonshine in the back of it.
Exactly.
Because some of that moonshine, when they hauled it, it weighed 300 pounds.
300 pounds in. Okay.
Yeah, and
And
that was
that's a real balance trick. To
Yeah.
have a car ride the same
Yep.
height as it is when it's loaded.
exactly. Yeah.
And then you say it has an air ride type system under the car then?
It's got like a ear suspension underneath it.
Okay,
for,
so
yeah,
the
for
car was a little adjustable and
Yep,
you could
yep,
counter
yep.
some of the weight.
And it takes curves. It goes around the curves on it.
Oh, yeah, you
on
said
real
it
how
drives
goes around
good.
the curves.
Oh,
It
yeah.
drives really nice down the road and all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's even got the little switch there. You turn off the brake lights
Yeah, we'll show that.
and the tail lights
Yep, we'll show that here in a minute.
on it. But
I was kind of curious, how in the world does somebody find a legit moonshine car? Because, let's be honest, these aren't everyday items that you can find. I mean, especially with the history that you got.
the only thing I could say is my lucky day.
Your lucky day.
My lucky day.
And you were at
That's what it was.
Daytona Racetrack?
I was down at Turkey Rod down at
Turkey Rod.
Daytona Racetrack down
Okay.
there, where they have Turkey Rod down there. It's over 10,000 cars there,
Wow.
and then they have this little area where they sell cars, and
Okay.
so we went in the area, and we was on our little scooters because that's what
Oh
you
yeah,
can drive
you
around
gotta
down
scoot,
there.
man.
And actually, my wife found this car.
So the wife actually found it.
She's the one that seen this car.
And she had the eye to go, hey, this is what I like.
She said, I like that car over there.
Well, that's
exactly
she's
what
got
she
good
said.
taste,
and I
man.
just turned around and I looked. I said,
She's got good taste.
that's
Woody.
me too. I said, I like
Yeah.
that car.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
So there was actually an old man, Larry, the second owner.
Larry, the second
this,
owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of this car, and so we got off our little scooters and we walked over to him and I asked him. I said, man, what do you got to have for that car?
Not even knowing it's a moonshine car.
At that time, I did not know it was
Wow.
a moonshine car.
Wow.
And at that time, he told me $15,000. So I said, you know what? I'll get you the cash. I want it.
Right.
And he said, wait a minute, you didn't even ask me about the history of this car. I said, I
Don't
didn't
matter.
know it had history. He said,
Right.
he pulls the books out and everything.
How cool.
Yeah, so he went through everything and showed me where this was ran down in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Wow.
And Ralph was the original owner, how it was shipped down there, what it cost, and all that stuff. Got all the documentation on this car that tells you the
Fantastic.
whole story about it. But Ralph was the original owner of this whole car right here, and he's the one that ran the moonshine back in the day. And
And it even come with a bullet hole.
yeah, he's been shot at, and you can show him right down here. There's the bullet hole
Right down here's the bullet hole?
Yeah, right on the side there.
There you go.
Looks like the bullet hit the ground, bounced up,
Yeah.
went directly right in there.
I'll tell you what, if that was today, the bullet hole would have come from Detroit after
Well,
he had
you
bought
know-
it trying to get it down there.
You know how them old guns back in the day, none of them were accurate. Yeah,
Apparently not.
Yeah, you just point and shoot. That's it. If you hit something,
Right.
you do.
Hey.
You know, that's the way it was.
It's a
back
good
in the
day, huh?
So,
That's amazing.
yeah, and
So then you have to make all these calls of relatives to round up some cash because the banks were closed. I understand.
yeah. The bank was closed Saturday, and I had to come up with $15,000 cash.
You got better relatives than I got.
And I said, well, you know, guys, I want to buy this car over here. There's like 15 of us running the bunch over there.
Okay.
We were all buddies and everybody. So everybody started pulling money out of their pockets and going to get money and this and that. And we come up with the $15,000 cash. And
Cool, man.
and I ended up buying the car, and then it was taken to my brother's house. He lived down in
Okay.
Daytona.
I see.
And then from there, we had it shipped home.
Then you had it shipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
By a shipper or did you
By
get
shipper, yeah.
By a shipper then. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Cost I think around $1,000 to have it shipped home.
You paid more for the shipping than what this car cost originally.
Yeah.
That's what's
exactly,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
It's a mind game, you know. It's a mind game, but it's something that it's got a lot of history on this car.
Oh, you couldn't go wrong. I mean, the car's fantastic. Even if it wasn't, let's say, a moonshine car,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, the 15 was still a deal.
Yeah.
You know, just because of how original it is, and the patina. I mean, you can't buy that.
No,
I mean, that's
no,
real.
No.
That's real right there.
And actually, the original owner, this set for 30 years in his barn, was put up.
Wow.
After he was done running moonshine on it because he became a Christian.
That's right. That's
And
right.
yeah, and
So he decides I need to change my life.
that's
and-
what he did. He decided he wanted to change his
Yeah.
life, so he parked his old car in the barn. It sat there for 30 years, and a lot of his buddies that ran moonshine, he turned them into Christians too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the funny part about the story about the car. He really wouldn't share much about what had happened when he was on moonshine because he had changed his life and he really didn't want that out, right? I mean, he kind of thought, let that lie.
No, until he actually passed away, and then the truth come out.
Then it come out.
His wife gave the story how what he did, and the truth came out. Actually, become a Christian there. So,
Wow.
And he was almost going to have this car redone.
That's what you said.
Yeah, one time he was almost going to have this
Yeah.
car redone, and
I'm
he
glad he
thought
didn't.
about it, and he thought about it, and he said, "No,
Yeah.
I'm just going to sell it the way it is." And one of his buddies, Larry, bought the car. He bought
Okay.
it back in '08
Okay.
from Ralph, and Larry had it until 2 years ago, and that's when I purchased it from him.
2 years
Larry. That's
ago.
when he brought over the track over there, decided to sell it, and he never touched his car neither. The only thing he did is do a little bit driven around in this area up there in the
Okay.
mountains and stuff like that.
But you bought it running and driving, is that correct?
I bought it, yeah.
It was running and driving. Wow.
Running and driving.
That's
we drove it
incredible.
right off the trailer, and actually I took it all around in Daytona down there, and
Did you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Went over to the north turn over there, and where they had the first, first race of Daytona.
The actual Daytona.
Yeah.
On the
yeah,
beach.
On
race.
the beach, yeah, yeah. Took it over there and got some pictures done with it, and went to the first gas station. Was actually in Daytona. Got some pictures there. So
Nice.
this car's got a lot of history.
Nice.
On different areas.
And
different
the
places
other
I've been
cool
to.
part about the car, I have to say, is the fact that it spent time at Honest Charlie Speed Shop in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yep, yep.
He had a flathead that was built up for it, and they were like 100 horse when it was new. You know, flatheads didn't make a ton of power, but they were fairly reliable, and people were, all about souping them up. And I have a kind of a cool story about Honest Charlie and those guys. But back in the, down south, it was hard to get your hands on speed equipment stuff. But the thing they had going for them, they knew about the dry lake guys out in California. They knew about all the dry lake racing and that. So Fred Corello of Corello Rods used to be one of the main guys that built motors for the bootleggers. And the bootleggers would get like a group of 4 guys that they could trust, gave them money.
Yep.
Then they would train out to California, go to Fred Corello, and Fred said they were great people. They paid cash, but you had to know that motor could not fail. He said that was very stressful, because if it failed, it meant this man's going to prison. So he said there was no room for error when I built these engines. So they got the best of the best. And they paid great. He said they were fantastic to deal with, but you didn't want to build a bad motor. So he said
Right,
it was
yep.
fairly stressful. And Honest Charlie, I think, was one of those guys who was able to pull from that technology that the dry lake guys were doing.
He was a
then.
very smart guy.
Very smart guy. And
yeah.
I ran into his drag car, believe it or not very far from here, about 10 years ago. A guy by the name of Noggle races Ford, has a 427 Fairlane. And I was there talking to him, and he actually is the one that hooked me up with Fran Hernandez that we're going to be doing a story on. And he took me over to his barn, or like a hangar in Tecumseh at the airport.
Yeah.
He opens up this door, and here is Honest Charlie's winning Ford Fairlane. It was a Ford Fairlane 63. It won the National 63, 64, 65, I do believe. Don't hold me to it. It's been a while ago. But had all the stickers on the windows.
I've seen that car.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's set over there. He had it for a while.
That car. Yeah.
Well, now where'd you run into it at?
Actually, it was down Daytona down there. There's all
Was it? Yeah, he
kinds of
ended up
cars that
selling
come
it.
in Daytona. It's the history. If you want to go to a car show, it carries the history. Of a lot of people that what I want to say is these movie stars, these.
You name it.
You name it, on these TV shows. They bring
Wow.
their cars in there big time, and they're just walking around there like we are,
Yep.
And just normal people, and real good people actually. They have not met a bad person yet.
I think generally most car people are good people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think that's what drew me to it.
Yep.
And they're all characters. They all got their own. We got a lot of characters. They're involved in cars.
Yeah, I'm loaded with characters.
Roofley. We got to go and do Roofley. He's a character.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's take a moment and let's show the folks kind of some special features on the car.
Yeah.
We can go around and show them, like, this car literally has the ability to shut off its brake lights so it can flee from a cop. We're going to show you how he did it.
Yeah, and
then
we'll show them where they hid the moonshine and all that stuff like that. Original.
And that's a cool story too. You're going to find out that this trap door that they have in the car was actually built, you're telling me,
in Detroit.
in Detroit by a Ford Motor Company.
Yep,
then,
that's
right?
how he wanted it. Yep.
Yep. And they did it for him. So this is really cool, really incredible what you could have done back then.
Yeah. But anyhow, this was right here. This was the 347 with a straight stick pulled out of here, and a 347. Back in the day, this thing had 300 horsepower. They only made 1 year of this engine, and that was in '57.
Oh, that's right. It was 1
Yep,
year.
1 year.
Oldsmobile did kind of the same deal, didn't
Yep. Oldsmobile did the same thing,
Mhm.
and had all extra lights and stuff like that. Cause you're down there, and it had a lot of curves and stuff you had to take, and sometimes
Yeah,
you're
well,
going
and the
100
fog in
miles
the
an hour on
mountains,
them curves.
was another thing you had to deal with. For sure.
So, and it had the spotlight there, and
This is the switch that you were talking
your
about,
toggle
right?
switch there. You can turn your brake lights off and also turn your tail lights off with it. And right back here behind this seat right here, it flips up. This is where they hid the moonshine back in the day, and that's where they hauled it. And it was kind of neat little area there, because you didn't know that seat flipped up like that. Usually more of the seats come down, never flip up.
That's right. That's right. What a cool option to be able to order it like that. Oh man, he rolled right along. It was nice.
Go ahead. See if you shut that up somehow.
Yep. What do I do?
I don't know.
You don't know?
There, it folds down.
All right, you get it?
Yeah. And the thing is, this is the trick about it too.
What?
Both doors have got to be open, or this will not open up. So if he's sitting in the seat and they're checking it all out, and they only open one door, he can't pull this thing up. Both doors have got to be open. Yeah.
Pretty genius, dude.
We gotta
Look
make
at
sure-
that. It's even got a mirror.
We gotta make sure we get this signature.
What now?
We gotta make sure we get that signature.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, yeah. Where is it at?
Right there.
What he's saying that this is Robert Mitchum's son
That signed the dash.
that signed the
Played in
dash
Thunder
right there.
Road.
Played in Thunder Road.
Yeah. He actually
Very
played with
cool.
his dad in Thunder Road.
I'll be darned. Very cool. Very good.
And I do have pictures of him signing the dash and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah,
And
and
then,
then harness right here, feed back here. This is the one that actually turns your tail lights on and off, and turns your brake lights on and off. Right here. He's got it unhooked right here. This is the original hookup right here. He's got it unhooked right here to run all that stuff. So
I'll be darned.
it was kind of neat.
We can safely say that's been probably done like that for how many years, you think?
It's probably been like that ever since he was running moonshine. Never been. This car never been touched since he fixed it up to run moonshine.
Imagine that, a car from this era, trunk, doors, everything still works.
Yeah.
Get a car
Everything-
built
you said
in
everything
2003 and then everything's already falling apart.
Yeah.
Everything's been worked on. That's an amazing car.
And the thing is,
It'll be around when I'm dead and gone.
me too. Yeah, that's what the history is about this thing. Is just keep going, because I'm going to make sure it goes in the right hands.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? Yeah. So this car is not to be, sold or anything like that. It's just made to look in the history and.
A member of the family now.
Yeah, it is. It's where it's going to go at. Probably into the family and stay into the family. And but just to drive this thing down the road is just unreal. It's just to know that this car was used to run moonshine back in the hills and down in Chattanooga, all of them places down in that area there. To drive this down the road, you can just feel the chills just go right up your arm. And I never felt that chill in none of the other cars more than I do in this car right here.
Wow.
It's just
Well,
unreal.
how could you? I mean, this thing.
Yeah. It's like the original owner is
Was the
actually
real
in
deal.
the passenger seat riding with me. That's what it
Absolutely.
felt like,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got a couple things here we wanted to show you that Woody was pointing out, and one of the things, he literally has the original title for the car when he purchased the car. And then who are the gentlemen here in the picture here, Woody?
This is Larry. This is the second owner. This is Jim Mitchell, Robert Mitchell's son that played in Thunder Road.
Cool.
And here they are at a vent right here with the car right here. And this is the engine where it was changed, 347, where it was changed over. And this is the Lincoln suspension underneath. So this thing can take curves and hold the weight. This is the barn that it was stored in for 30 years.
Oh, wow. We have a couple gentlemen here if you want to. Right here, who are these now?
This guy, I never did get his name. I don't know who he is. He must have been somebody important, but I don't know who he is. But this is right here, the second owner, Larry.
And this is Larry then, the second owner?
Yep.
Okay. And I noticed you had a picture of popcorn.
Yep, he's in there.
And he actually knew popcorn, you're telling me.
He actually knew popcorn, yeah.
And that's the
They
moonshine
all
that's
knew
on
him
TV.
down there in Tennessee down there.
Is that right?
Yep,
And then we have somebody signed it here.
yep.
Is that Popcorn Sutton that's on that Moonshiner show?
Yeah, yeah, that's who he is.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, he did that moonshine dance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Honest Charlie.
Yep.
I'll be darned. Huh.
This is Ralph, the original owner of the car. Here he is right here with his picture taken with the car there. That's Ralph there. I think it was in front of a restaurant or something. He was down there.
Yep, very cool.
Let me see. I think this is the one I want. These pages never here. Popcorn.
There's popcorn.
Right here.
I'll be.
When they had this event down there, they had a lot of the guys down there that was tied into moonshine.
Did
down
they?
there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And here's a picture of Jim Marshall signed the dash there of the car. That's
Played in Thunder Road.
he played in Thunder Road, yep.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize if it wasn't for these guys, you wouldn't have NASCAR. I mean, literally, these guys were the guy, after they got back from World War II, they were adrenaline junkies. They had to find an outlet.
Right.
And a lot of them ran shine, so they had a little bit of money, you know. And what they did, they went dirt track racing, and then out of that, of course, came NASCAR.
Yeah. Well,
A lot of people don't know that, but wasn't for these guys, there probably wouldn't have been no NASCAR.
It actually started of people that didn't have money. Poor
Yep.
people. That's how it
Yep.
started. The jobs, wasn't that many jobs back in the day, especially in that area down
And you're talking about that's why they moonshine.
Right.
Oh,
right.
absolutely. Junior Johnson
Yeah.
talked about a time when his dad didn't have 35 cents to buy
Exactly,
some
yep.
seed for the fields. And his dad said, I'm done with all this. So they started running
They started
shine.
running moonshine, yeah.
You know? And then, the reason why the government actually went after them with revenuers, it wasn't what people think. It was the fact that they were starting to make, shine, of course, that was burnable in the cars. And the government wasn't getting their tax money off the gas.
Exactly.
And
yep,
they
yep.
felt threatened by that. And then they blame it on prohibition. Well, it was really a little bit more than just prohibition. It was the fact they weren't getting their tax off the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started producing their own fuel.
Yeah, but that's how it started. It started with poor people.
Yep,
Then it
that's
went
true.
into racing,
Yep.
and that's how NASCAR really started back in the day. And they did it right on the beach. And this car was actually right on the beach for the first race at North Turn down there.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this guy went to the first race?
No.
Or you
I
had
took
it
it.
down
I
there
took it to the
at
first race down there. at
I
North
gotcha.
Turn. Yeah.
I
And I driven it down the beach right where they had the first race down there.
Very cool, man.
Yeah. And the very, very cool car that they have, and they have the history and all that stuff on this right here. It's just one of the things I just got lucky. It's hard. It's getting to be harder to get them out there. It is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And when you do get them, you're going to pay top dollar for them.
That's right.
But that's the way I look at it. To pay top dollar now, because the value of these things is just nothing but going to climb.
Well, let's hope so. Let's
Yep.
hope we can get some young kids involved and
Yep.
get them interested in the old cars and keep these things around because they're definitely a valued treasure,
Yeah, it is. They just hold a lot of history, and
They can tell a story.
yeah. This car is all about the story. That's why the car is left the way it is, because it tells the story just by looking at it.
There you go. There you go. Well, Woody, I want to thank you today for coming out and sharing this story with us, and we'll get it out there so everyone can watch it and enjoy it. And I absolutely loved the story about this car. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, man, we got to show this car. It's just a great story.
Well, I'm glad that
So-
you took it up to,
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
the story out there.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. Honored to do it.
I'm really
Absolutely.
Another thing too, I wanted to bring to your attention to let Jeff and Jackie Hubbard, they have it in their showroom at the store here,
Yep.
and be able to do this.
Yep.
And I thank them for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fantastic about this stuff.
Yeah.
Jackie especially, she's all about
Oh, she's
saving the history and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why it's actually here in an auto parts store today because
Yep.
of that. So
Yep.
yeah. So
Sure is.
my name again is Anthony Simpkins. Everyone here at Hot Rods and History want to thank everyone for coming in, taking a peek And again, we want to thank Woody. And he's got some more stuff down in his barn. Believe me, we'll probably be down there filming some more stuff. You know, this is just really special because of the history. I mean, it was a really, really cool story. So, in closing, keep watching. We got some more shows coming up, and we're just going to keep you guessing. So, thanks again.
And thank you.